Hello, everyone. This is Hannah, evolutionary astrologer, and this is an astrological health report for the month of May. So, I want to bring in some key highlights, some themes, prevention tips, healing suggestions, and all sorts of supportive activities. And astrology, one disclaimer here is that astrology doesn't necessarily show us disease. Oh, you're going to get sick, or you're not going to get sick, but it does reveal which areas of our body may be more sensitive, may be more vulnerable, and how we can ultimately take action to support, to strengthen, to bring healing to those systems. So, this is going to be a very general reading of the energies and the activations for the month of May. And of course, a lot is going to depend on how your unique natal chart is being triggered, how it's being activated by these transits. So again, this is a broad report. I hope you still find it, very useful and very insightful for your own, personal healing and health journey. So let's start with the beginning of May. We're really talking about here from May 4th to May around May 9th. Mercury is going to conjunct Chiron in Aries. So Chiron, known as a wounded healer, has a lot to do with health and healing, and they meet in Aries. Mercury is also related to health. So when, anything that's in Aries, there is that higher chance for inflammation, right? Stress, high cortisol levels, any sort of fight or flight response. So we need to be more aware of anything related to stress patterns. We're at a higher risk of burnout, adrenaline crashes. So again, watch your cortisol levels. And we can all feel more stressed, more reactive, more defensive. So Aries relates to the head. So headaches, anything related to headaches, inflammation, sharp sensations in the body that can really show emotional tension, mental tension, or you're overworking your system. And Aries is also related to sharp objects, anything that penetrates the skin, anything that can cause that sort of like damage, that sharp, the sharpness of Aries. So be extra mindful around anything that cuts, knives, scissors, needles, and anything, there's a higher risk here of potential head accidents, head injuries. So take really good care of your head as well. Physical training, Aries needs to move. It needs to, spend energy. It needs to sweat. So this is part of the supportive activity. We need to be engaging in physical training and exercising and use that fuel, use that energy. But this is not the time to take risks, increase the weight or the intensity, anything that's too abrupt. This is not the time to push your body to its limits, so movement is essential, but the movement that's going to support the release instead of straining the body. So some suggestions is again exercise, anything that gets you sweating, anything that gets you moving your body, anything that's going to help to release stress, but in a healthy way. So be very mindful of how you're spending your energy. Is it too much? Is it aligned? Is it too reactive? Are you overworking your system? So, pay attention to your fuel, pay attention to your adrenal glands. And if you need to restore vitality, this is great. It's such a great time to take action towards anything about your health. If you need to start a diet, do it. If you need to implement exercise, do it. If you need to go to the doctor and get a health checkup, do it. If you've been meaning to maybe, exploring a different sort of healing practice of modality, excellent time for that as well. I talked about sharp objects. I can't forget to talk about acupuncture. Acupuncture is a very Aries remedy and supportive, tool. So if you are more stressed, if there's pain in the body, if there's anything going on, acupuncture is such a great tool for this moment. If another thing, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling like, maybe it can be coming from being, too stressed and needing to kind of take, some time for yourself and rest the body and sleep. But also check to see if maybe your iron levels, if you're not iron deficient, that's also related to Aries. Aries is also related to blood. So maybe it's a great time to take, to do a blood panel to see what's going on, if everything is in order. All right. So some suggestions, anti-inflammatory herbs like turmeric, ginger, holy basil, ashwagandha, peppermint, chamomile. So anything that's going to help with inflammation, that's amazing. And of course, consult with your healthcare professional, especially if you're taking other medications. Some of these herbs can interact with some medications and have side effects. So do be mindful of that as well. Okay. And then we get to mid-May. In mid-May, so really we're talking here about May 10th to May 22nd, give or take. We're going to have a powerful dance or powerful meeting of the planet Uranus, the Sun, and Hygeia. If you've never heard of a Hygeia before, Hygeia is a key significator, a key player in anything that has to do with health and healing. Hygeia rules, holistic health. So when these guys are meeting, all three of them are converging in Taurus. This is powerful. And with Uranus, we need to do some rethinking. We need to do things differently. We need to upgrade. So again, this is a great time to upgrade your wellness routine. So anything that needs to be done, anything that maybe you've been lacking, maybe you have, you could be eating better, maybe you could be exercising more. Maybe you simply need to go to the doctor and do a checkup and see how you're doing. It's a great moment, but anything related to the body, because the Taurus is our physical body, the senses, our relationship with food and nourishment. So this could be a time where there can be, the Uranus bring that sudden insights. So there can be these maybe unexpected flashes of insights, okay, I need to do that. This is the path I need to be, taking, or maybe this could be a time to do, to explore unconventional alternative healing practices. So there could be sun realizations. There could be a conversation with someone that kind of brings something new to the table. So there is a potential here to discovering new ways to, heal the body or take care of the body. Of course, if you're, struggling with something, this is a time for the healing. But if you are, if your health is amazing, everything is in check, see how you can bring this to the next level. Maybe it's, changing your supplement routine. Maybe it's changing, some things in the gym. But Uranus brings the need to elevate things, to bring things to the next level. Okay. So, in terms of Taurus rules the thyroid. So pay attention to if you're feeling extra sluggish, anything related to the thyroid, the neck, thyroid sensitivity. If you've never had a thyroid test before, maybe this is a great time to take action on that. And also pay extra attention to emotional and unconscious eating cravings. I want sugar. I want comfort food, especially if there's stress involved. And of course, we're living in very, very stressful times. So sugar and the comfort of food can be, can help to release stress, but it can also, not be so great. And so we're all more at risk for overindulgence, something that we don't want to look at. So we, get the cupcakes and the cakes and the ice cream. So yes, pleasure is needed. It is a time to get and eat a slice of cake, but be careful with overindulgence. Make sure you're getting extra rest. Make sure your body is feeling comfortable. So maybe it is a time to get the extra pillows to make sure the bed is comfortable, your couch is comfortable, really at the spiritual level, Torah speaks about making sure that our bodies are a comfortable home for our soul, our spirit. So, maybe there's something about that we need to rethink, that we need to, bring back more pleasure and more comfort. That's a source of healing. But on the flip side, be careful with overindulgence, overeating, over pleasure, and more pleasure. One important thing about this conjunction, this meeting, of the Sun, Hygeia, and Uranus is that they're meeting very, very close to the fixed star Algol. Algol it's called the demon star. There's a lot of association with it that can be quite malefic and intense. It's definitely, there's a transformation quality to Algol. I particularly don't consider it a demon star. I do consider it a very transformative and very powerful. It has to do with the myth of the Medusa. So that's a whole other story. But I want you to be aware that these planets are going to be meeting very, very close to Algol. So there can be some deep emotional intensity coming up. But it's also a time to shed old patterns. So it is the radical transformation moment. So you can feel maybe these like old patterns showing up, subconscious material, things that have been deeply ingrained that come to the surface. And that's where we can have all these different distractions, oh, I'm not feeling good, so I'm gonna go, and they can overeat or over sex or overplay, anything that's over too much that really acts as a distraction mechanism and takes us away from really what is really going on deep down. So pay attention to that. But this is such a time for healing breakthroughs, to discover new ways to heal that could be untraditional, that could be ahead of its time, that can be outside of the conventional medical way of healing and taking care of our health. This is an amazing time for detox, purging. If it shows up as some sort of a illness, maybe you get a cold, maybe it's having more headaches, maybe you can't sleep well, but pay attention to what shows up related to your physical body because there's a deep message there of a deep healing. And I think, that's the power of astrology, that we know what is going on so we can consciously, relate to it, connect with it, engage with it. So if something comes up, during the period in mid-May, pay attention. Don't take your attention away from it. This could be beliefs, this could be health habits, but it's a time to let go of toxic patterns, old wounds, upgrade, elevate. So the detox can be super helpful. The purging, maybe you're going to do a longer fast. Those are amazing times for that. And again, please check with your health practitioner, with your doctor to see what's best for you and to see what will, be most supportive. Some supportive activities for this transit. Number one, grounding practices, barefoot walking, go to nature. I was just reading about how trees release, I might be saying this wrong, I believe it's called phytoncides or phytoncides, but pretty much what these things are, they're natural compounds that help the tree, the plants to protect themselves from, insects and bacteria. So what they do, but what the studies are showing is that those compounds actually improve our immune system, the human immune system. So just by walking in nature, just by sitting under a tree, just by putting our feet on the soil, just breathing the air and breathing these compounds, these phytoncides, or whatever they're called, Google it. I probably am saying this wrong, but just by doing this, just by being in nature, we are actually boosting the production of the natural killer cells in our body. So those are the white blood cells. So our body is, getting stronger and defending against infections and all sorts of things. So just by being in nature, it can really help enhance your mood, improve the immune system, and lower the stress hormones and all of that. So, it's a great, great tool. Another one is physical touch, sensual touch. So it is a time for the massages. If you're feeling pain in the body, touch can be such a great healing tool here. Hugs, that's another one. Oils, essential oils. Taurus is the physical, the five senses. So the smells, the touch, all of those are great allies during this time. Taurus is also about beauty. So surrounding yourself with beauty, especially if you're going through a lot. I know this one is so simple, but it's so powerful. Bring the flowers. Put on your favorite dress and walk around the house. Like anything that makes you feel beauty and makes you feel that you're surrounded by beauty, whatever beauty is for you, the colors, the textures, the smells. This is also really awesome. And also slowing down and reconnecting with your body's rhythm. I've said this already, but pay attention to the body because it's really giving you messages. Hey, this needs to go. Hey, this is not working. Hey, this is working really well. What's next? Right? So maybe there's going to be some insights around health, around healing, shifts and awarenesses about food, how you relate to food, touch, rest, physical pleasure, your relationship with your body. So energy work is great, detox is great, anything that sound healing is such a Taurus thing. So the solfeggios, the frequencies, they are incredible, and please do that. Please take advantage of that. And you can find playlists on YouTube if you do frequencies for healing, frequencies for increasing your vibration, frequencies for cognitive function. So just, Google it. It's free, it's out there, and there's some great resources. All right. And okay, so towards the end of May, what's gonna happen on May 22nd is that Hygeia, remember Hygeia, the asteroid of health and healing? Hygeia is going to enter the sign of Gemini. So it's going to move from Taurus to Gemini. And this is actually going to last until late August of this year. So we're really talking about the whole summer. Hygeia in Gemini is about mental hygiene. It shifts the attention from the body to the mind, the nervous system. So now we're going to see the shift about thoughts, the quality of our thoughts, the quality of our speech, the quality of our communication, anything about cognitive processing, mouth, tongue, vocal cords, communication patterns, it's all in the realm of Gemini. Lungs and breath, those two are very important. Really talking about a physical in the physical sense, but also emotional sense. So according to Chinese medicine, our lungs are connected to grief. So breath work is one of the most powerful ways to process and release emotions, anything that can be, that's happening inside. So do use your throat, your lungs, your voice to really get that, so breath, get that out. So breath work, pranayama, it's amazing, amazing tools here. So watch out for mental overstimulation. Anything that's in Gemini, when we have Gemini in the sky, we are naturally more stimulated. Our minds are just processing more and more. So be extra mindful about slowing down. We can feel this difficulty slowing down, difficulty resting the mind. We can find that we're more there's more compulsive thinking, and this could lead to burnout from overstudying, overreading, a lot of screen time, multitasking. One suggestion is work on being in the present moment instead of doing 1,000 things at the same time. That's a hard one for me, but that's what I'm going to be doing. Really trying to stay in the moment, fully there, so it can support your mind. So watch out for information overload, digital burnout, anxiety. That's another one too. So some supportive practices here is anything that's going to help your nervous system. That's going to give you that support. That's going to help you reduce anxiety. So again, chamomile, lemon balm, lavender. You can use, the teas and the herbs, but also the essential oils, passion flower, ashwagandha. One of my favorite one is Brahmi, which is very, very used in Ayurveda. So those can be really good allies here. Rest, prioritize rest for your nervous system. Pay extra attention to your nervous system, which includes mindfulness, meditation. Those are, a lot of the things that I'm saying here really simple, are really easy to integrate. So mindfulness and meditation can really help to manage stress and quiet the mind. Anything that can help you quiet the mind in a healthy way, that's really great. So make sure you're getting a lot of sleep, proper rest, declutter anything. This is a great time to declutter mental stuff, you know? And another really simple one, but really, really good is go out for walks. Open up the windows in your house. Bring in fresh air. Okay. Support the lungs. Anything related to breath work. This could also be singing. This could be chanting. Um, Anything that brings that lung and breath and throat into it can be really helpful. Another one is journaling. You can speak. This is a great time for conversations, a great time to, bring your issues to therapy, talk to a friend about things, can be that source of healing through voicing things out. Um, but writing and journaling can also be, those are Gemini activities, so they can also be really, really great. Conscious speech, mindful conversations, especially as, towards the end of the month, what we're going to happen, what we're going to have is Mercury, which is the ruler of Gemini, meeting Hygeia at the end of May. So this can bring meaningful insights. This could be meaningful conversations that can really, bring good information, illuminate your own healing path. Okay, new suggestions, new information that can be really useful. So I hope this is useful. I hope you have a really peaceful and easy May and full of abundant health, abundant, radiance. And if you like this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. If you like these health reports, let me know so I can keep, maybe doing them once a month and can have that, overall understanding of the month in terms of health and healing and supportive tools for the month. And that's about it. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.